Look at this thing. What do you think this is? Did you think it was a tree? I hope not, because it's definitely not an actual tree. This is an actual tree. What you saw was just a symbol of a tree. This is a symbol of a rose. This is a symbol of a face. This is a symbol of a flag. None of these things are the real thing. They're just simply like all of these things are representative of the real thing. They're not actually what you're seeing. So the thing is that your brain is incredible. Your brain is able to take a whole thing of details in front of it and simplify it at the speed of light. The only thing is that this can be kind of a problem when you want to draw the actual real thing that's before your eyes. It will literally look at say this is a curly bushy part, and then see a vertical tube connected to it, and instantly you recognize that thing as a tree, even though it's not actually a tree. Now, what's really cool about this is that there's literally an infinite amount of ways you can represent a tree, and the human mind will just understand that it is a tree, and that's what makes illustration so cool. But we're not talking about that today. Today, we're just focusing on realism and how to actually see with your eyes, not your brain. The first time I became aware of this, it was kind of reminded me of like whenever I realized that like the voices in your head, like the voice in your mind is like there's not like an actual voice speaking, like not physically in reality, but it's just like literally your mind, and only you can like I don't know, like your mind is always doing all this kind of like trippy stuff, and what we need to do is practice seeing with our eyes and not our brain. So try focusing on the negative space around the object. So if you don't already know, negative space is the stuff that isn't the object you're drawing. So say you draw this photo, the space around it is just as important as the photo itself. But your brain has a hard time like labeling these abstract shapes. So that will really help your brain learn to shut up. And since we're trying to get our brains to shut up, I also suggest that you can try to like enter a calm state before you start drawing. Being in a calm state or just trying to relax will help you draw better, because you're not going to be stressed out and trying to perfectly get the shape of the contour of a nose perfectly. Instead, you'll easily slip into that flow state when you start drawing and just let your brain switch off. Some ways you could try to enter this calm state of mind is like you can try to meditate if that's your thing. You also could try to like listen to calm music before you start to draw, or just some deep breathing, just being more aware, and that will help your brain kind of switch into your calm mode. And also you need to trust yourself. You don't need to be consciously present at the table when you're going in to draw. Like, in fact, it's probably better that you're not conscious. And in my creatives only newsletter, there I talked with my people about learning to trust yourself again, and I gave you guys some tips and advice on how you can trust yourself and your creative visions. So if you're creative and you think you could use some of that, and you like thinking about creativity as a whole, you like thinking deeply about creativity, you want ideas, you want to be shouted out in the newsletter, join below. It's free, and link is in the description. Another thing you can do is just flip your reference upside down. Obviously, it's different if you're working with like a live set, but just flip it upside down if you're working with a reference, and your brain will be like, I don't know what any of these weird shapes are, and it will definitely help you chill out and actually see what's in front of you instead of translating the objects for you. So the whole goal here is to combat labeling. Try being like more aware if you're starting to label things. Combating labeling is like 90% of the job. So if you catch yourself in your mind starting to say that this is a flower, and this is the stem of the flower, and this is the thorn of the rose, every time you see that, let's just simplify it, because at the end of the day, all you ever draw is just a shape with value. That's it. So when you catch yourself saying those things, override that thought and say, nope, it's just the shape of value. Shape of value. And the more you do it, the more automatic it becomes. Yeah, and the last thing I got for you is try to use a grid. I'm sure a lot of you, if you've been drawing for a while, you probably know all about the grid, but the drawing grid is an easy way to look at each part of the reference image and just focus in on it section by section. Most likely there's not going to be any recognizable artifacts or anything, and it'll be a very easy way to remind yourself that it's just shape and value. Shape and value. Hopefully these tips and tricks helped you out today. I plan on making so many other creative ideas, just learning and exploring different forms of art, like coding is a form of art, and illustration, and learning how to animate traditionally. And if you're into any of that, please subscribe. If this video helped you, please like. And again, I want you to join my newsletter. Like, these are where I give away free things. Like, these are my people. Like, if you call yourself a creative person, you should be there. We're all about inclusivity. I don't care if you do art, singing, whatever. I want you there. And I will see y'all next time.